Skylum is just about to release their brand new portrait photo editing software called Aperty. In today's video, I will provide you with a quick start tutorial to make sure that you get the most out of this application. We will cover everything from creating projects, adding images, looking at the application interface, and then going through basic edits, including masking and presets. Now, as you imagine, we have a lot to do, so let's start right now. Now, just before we going to start, a quick reminder that today's tutorial is powered by our brand new Aperty Ultimate Guide. This powerful 106-page ebook guide is full of details, instructions, and covering every single tool and technique in this application. Now, if you want to find out more about it, you can use the link in the description of this video or head directly to our website cleverphotographer.com. And just a quick reminder that if you get the Ultimate Guide now, you can get it with a special pre-release offer. Okay, so once you install and open Aperty, the first window you're going to see is the Projects module. Here you can create a projects which work pretty much like folders or collections. I already have a few here. However, if you just open the application, you may not see any and you actually need to create your new project. Just to show you how the project looks, when I open the wedding project here, you can see that it has a number of images. Now, going back into our projects module, what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on Create Project. Now, of course, that you can choose your own naming convention, but I like to add a date first. So let's say 2024, 10 and 31st. And then I like to add the name of the model. So for this one, her name was Eva. And once I'm happy, I'm just gonna click on Create Project. The next window will allow us to drag and drop or add images. So one more time, you can drag and drop the images here, or you can just click on the logo, which will open a new window, and you can simply select the images and click on Open. Once we do that, the project will immediately open in the editing module, where when we click on this little icon here, we can see the film strip with the images from the project. Now, one more time, let's just go back to the project module where you can see our new project here next to all the different projects in a line. Now, just looking at it, a quick note, the projects right now are organized based on the last time they were edited. When you look at it, you can see the name of the project as well as the time when the project was last edited. When you hover over the project, you can see the preview of the images as well as the number of images in it. And when you right click on the project, you can choose to rename it, or you can also choose to delete it. It's also important to note here that when you delete the project, the images will not be removed from your disk. Anyway, let's cancel this. And really, once you're ready, you can double click on the project and enter the editing module. Now, quick overview of the editing module. We have a preview of the image with a film strip at the bottom. On the top of the window, we have some additional shortcuts. One which can bring you back to the projects module. Another one which will allow you to add more images to this project. And then we have a simple erase and clone tool, as well as the dodge and burn tool. Moving further, we have a quick look at the camera settings here with the ISO, also the lens, f-stop and shutter speed. Now coming back to the right side of the screen, this is where we have the main toolbar. I will switch off the dodge and burn, and looking at it, from the top we have a presets, masking, canvas options or canvas tools with the crop and optics options. Then we have the essentials tools, retouch tools, reshape tools, creative tools, and furthermore, you can click on the little eye icon, which will show you an additional information about the image on the top of what you see on the top of the window. After this, we can also use the undo and redo option from here. And furthermore, if we keep going, at the bottom, you will see an icon with a question mark on it. And that's quite important icon because when you click on it, you will see that there are a number of options here. You can, of course, use it to contact the support and submit feedback, but you can also see the release note for this update or for this version of Aperty. You can quickly access the user guide, Skylum blog, and you can also quickly see the shortcuts for your version of the system and for Aperty, quick onboarding, and additionally term of use. Now that's the toolbar, and just to finish it off, let's have a look at our film strip, which is very simple to use. We have our images here, and you can very quickly move between them just by clicking on them. When you have the image selected, from here, very quickly, you can mark it as your favorite or rejected. You can also copy and paste edits from here, and you can double check the name of the file. Finally, on the side here, we have an option to zoom in. Now you can zoom in using Command or Control+, or you can zoom in using the wheel on your mouse. And also you can zoom in by clicking on a shortcut here and select one of the options available. Once ready, you can also click on Fit, and that will basically fit the image in your window. Additionally, we have a few more options here. You can see the before and after using the little slider. I will show you how that works a little bit later. And we can also use the eye icon, which will allow us to look at the before and after, basically on the entire image. On the top of it, we can hide the film strip to remove the distraction and focus on the one photo, or we can unhide it, and then we can also organize the images in the film strip following the capture time, edit time, pick, file name, file type, and file size. So these are the controllers in the editing module, and now we can start with the quick edit. Now, when you're starting with the edit, the first thing you could do is to remove any unwanted area using the Erase or Clone tool. With the Erase tool, you just use a simple Content Aware brush. You brush over the area and it will remove it. Now, when I undo it, the next option is the Clone tool, where you can sample and sample area, and then very easily just brush over area next to it to basically clone it from one part to the other. Once finished, you can click on Save, or you can discard the changes using the Discard button. Now, when it comes to the dodge and burn, I would do that later. So what I would do now is to come or go into our main editing toolbar, where the first thing we're gonna open is the Canvas tool. From here, we could crop the image. However, more importantly, we're gonna open the optics and make sure that all our distortion, chromatic aberration, and depth range checkboxes are on, just to make sure that we take care of any lens distortion. If you need, you can use any of these sliders to adjust it further, and you can also transform the image just to make sure that it's in the shape or the direction you like. Once I'm finished with the optics, then I would move into the Essentials tool. This is where we can do the basic development. Starting by choosing the camera profile. By default, it's on Aperty default, but there are some additional options here. When you hover over the different options, you will see that basically you will get the live preview of the edit or of the effect on your image. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose the camera portrait. Just under it, we can adjust the white balance, where we can choose any of the presets here. So for example, the daylight or cloudy, or tungsten, whatever we like, or we can use the eyedropper and let's say use the eye or any white part on the image, or we can also use the manual adjustments using the temperature to make the image warmer or cooler, or the tint to add more magenta or green. Let's reset this and let's just use the S shot. Now, furthermore, we have the light adjustments where we can adjust the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. However, to adjust it, we need to see our histogram. Now, to see it, we're gonna right click on the image and click on Show Histogram. Now we have the histogram here. Now we can click on it and basically go through the different views. I like to use the basic histogram where I can see the main values, And looking at it, what we can do, we can bring the exposure down a little bit. Now we're gonna bring down the highlights, keeping an eye on our image, open the shadows just a little bit. And when it comes to whites, let's just shift the histogram a little bit towards the right. And with the blacks, let's just make the image a little bit darker. Now this isn't a tutorial on how to develop raw file. I will do that in much more depth later. However, just quickly running through the edits, this is what I would do first. We're not gonna do the curves, we're gonna go straight into the color, where in the color section, we can adjust the vibrance, saturation, and HSL panel. Now, obviously, with the vibrance, we can adjust the amount of saturation, but with the HSL panel, more importantly, we can choose between hue, saturation, and luminance. And for example, adjusting the red, orange, and yellow, we can actually adjust the skin tone of the model. So when you bring it down, you can make the skin look a little bit more natural and a little more pale, or you can actually shift it up and make her look a little bit more like she's more suntan. So this is what you do here in the HSL panel. Furthermore, there is a black and white feature where you can turn the image into black and white. And of course that we can also take care of the sharpening and noise reduction. Now, as you know, for the sharpening, it's good idea to zoom in to at least 100%, look at the image, and basically you can apply a little bit of sharpness there, maybe around 20, and just kind of moving around. There isn't much noise anyway, but let's just add the standard 10. When you're using the sharpen tool, don't forget to adjust the preserve texture option, just to make sure that you're only sharpening the areas with the texture or edges on it. For me, usually around 70 works the best. So we can close this, and just quickly, there are two more tools here you can use, details and structure, which will basically allow you to play furthermore with clarity, structure, and details in the image. Now we have the basic development done, and after this, we would move into the retouch part and reshape part. Now in the retouch part, we have different options here. We can play around with the skin, face, eyes, mouth, makeup, and body skin. So let's say just for the skin blemishes, we can take the slider and bring it up. Again, it's a good idea to zoom in to see the result. And once it applies, we can review if we want to adjust the blemish remover slider further, or if we are happy with the result. Of course, that we can try to bring it further, so somewhere around 80. And then additionally, we can also try to apply a little bit of the freckles removal. Now, how much of these sliders you're going to use is completely up to you, but it's good to know that they are here. You will notice that many of these retouch tools have an additional details option under it, which basically allows you to recover some of the details after adjusting the skin. So this is the skin blemishes, but we also have the face skin where we can apply some nice skin smoothing. We can also take care of any skin color corrections. We can remove the dark circles, brighten the face a little bit further if we want to, or we can also remove the shine. I think in this case, actually, removing the shine is a good idea. So let's go quite high, somewhere around 80. And let's just zoom out to double check. I think looking at it, let's have a look at the before and after with this specific tool. And I think it looks very good. Now, as I mentioned, there are some additional options. You can adjust the eyes, mouth, makeup, or body skin. I think the makeup is quite interesting. You can add a little bit of blush to the cheeks if you want to. Now, some of these tools are a little bit strong, so you want to be careful on how much you're going to add. You can go really crazy, or you can go just very gentle, but play around with it and see what you like. So we have the blush, we have the contour, we also have the highlights, and additionally, we have the eyeliner and also lips and eyebrows. So as I say, I'm going to be releasing full tutorials for all these tools in the upcoming weeks. So just very quickly, that was the makeup. Additionally, body skin, just to match the skin on the face with the body. So we can apply a little bit of body skin smoothing, just to match it. And also add a little bit of the body skin color correction. Once happy, we can then move into the next part where we can play around with the reshape. Now, this is something you can or absolutely don't have to do, but just to make sure that you know it's here, we can slim the face if we want to, using the face or face slim slider. And then we can also adjust the shape and position of the eyes. You can make the eyes a little bit bigger, again, if you want to, or you can actually adjust the shape and position of the eyebrows. You can add more of the arch or make them more flat. And again, you can adjust the position and distance. You can do the same with the nose, mouth, and also the body, where you can basically make the model or subject appear slimmer or wider. Now, finished with the reshape option here, then if you would want to, you could use one of the creative tools. Now, at the moment, it includes Studio Light, where you can apply new light or number of lights to relight the scene. You can also apply portrait bokeh to pretty much soften the background and add an additional glow. With the LUTs, you can adjust the color and the feel of the image very quickly by clicking on the Choose LUT and just using one of the LUTs built in the system, or you can get our Portrait LUTs bundle where you can really play around and change the look of your images. Moving on, we have the film grain. For more vintage feel, you can apply some film grain to your photo. You can also add or remove vignette, and additionally, you can recreate the high key effect with the high key tool. Now, done with that, when you finish with the edit, of course that you could export the image or you could apply it to the other images. Now, when it comes to batch processing here in Aperty, you have two options. First one is to synchronize or copy and paste the edit. So we have this image here, and let's have a look at how you can copy and paste the edit. Coming back to our film strip, you can use the copy edits here. What you do, you click on that, then you select another image and click on Paste Edits. Another way to do it, coming back to our edited photo, is to right-click on the image, go into the adjustments and click on Copy Adjustments. And then again, coming back to another image, right-click and select Adjustments and Paste Adjustments. Additionally, on the top of it, you can also select all the images using Command or Control A. Then right-click on the image, select Adjustments, and click on Synchronize Adjustments here. This way, the edit will be just synchronized with all the selected images. So let's have a look at it. If I just go back, I cancel this, again, back to our edited photo, I'm going to click on Copy Edits, and then I'm going to go to the next image and click on Paste Edits. Now, it's going to take a few moments. It will apply all the editing to it, and then it will be ready. So that's one way to adjust or apply or batch process your photos. A second way is to use presets. So we have this image edited. Now looking at it, I went a little bit overboard with the film grain. So let's just bring it down somewhere around here. And once finished, we're gonna come back to our main editing toolbar where we're gonna open the presets option. Here, of course, that you can use one of the presets available or built in the application. Just to speed up the process, you can basically open the collections and choose one of them. But for the batch processing, what you want to do, you want to click on the plus sign and create new preset. So we're going to call this Simple Bright Edit. Once happy, we're going to click on Save. And when we do that, when we go into the Yours tab, you will notice the preset is here. So selecting the second image, and we can click on Simple Bright Edit. And you will notice when you select the preset, then it will apply the edit to the image, and you will be able to adjust the strength of the edit using the little slider here. So right now it's on 100%, but you can bring it down and see how much of it you want to apply to your photo. Now with Yours presets, you can right click on them and add them to favorites. You can also rename them and delete them. Finally, I want to look at the masking here. So let's just go out of the presets, jump into the masking where we have this little masking window. The masking works a little bit similar to layers. We have the full image, that's our original photo, and that's where we apply our global adjustments. After this, we can create a new layers or new masks. Aperty has two kinds of masking tools. It has the AI tools where you can basically just click on all people. It will scan the image and it will select automatically the people in the image, just like it did here. At the same time, you can also click on background, which will pretty much do the opposite. It will select everything other than the people. And if there would have been sky, you could click on sky and it would select the sky. Now, talking about more traditional masking tools, you can click on the plus sign here, and the options right now are brush, linear gradient, radial gradient, and luminosity. So you just select the brush, for example, brush over, let's say hair, right here, something like this, just very quickly. And when you finish, you just click on save. Now you can see that we have a number of different masks. We have the person selected, the background, as well as the one I created with the brush. Now, each of these masks, when you click on the little three dots, you can add or subtract using the same tools from that specific mask. You can also completely fill this mask or completely clear it. You can invert it, you can duplicate it, and furthermore, you can duplicate it and invert it. On the top of it, you can also change the name of the mask. So, for example, we can call this hair, and of course that you can also delete it. Finally, there is the little eye icon where you can see the before and after for that specific mask. Now, when it comes to masking, it's only available for the essential tools and for the creative tools. You will notice when I click on the retouch, the masking disappears. So let's say that I'm in the essentials, going back to our masking, I will select the mask with the hair, and I will just go into the develop tool and basically just make the hair darker by bringing the exposure down. When I'm finished and I want to continue with the global adjustments, I'm just gonna select the full image, then close the masking tool and continue with any of the tools available in the application. Now, once really finished, that's when you can click on export. With the export window open, you can change the name, you can also add tags, you can change the location, and of course that you can adjust the exporting options. You can apply additional sharpening, adjust the size, you can also choose the color space, format, and you can choose the resolution, and depending on the format, maybe also compression, depth, and transparency. And then when really finished, all you need to do is to click on save and share the image with the rest of the world. Now, before we going to finish, just a quick reminder that this tutorial is powered by our brand new Professional Portrait LUT bundle. This brand new bundle is focusing on portrait editing, and it will allow you to use the 170 expertly crafted LUTs to quickly and easily adjust your portrait photos. Now, this bundle is of course compatible with the Aperty software, but you can also use it with Luminar Neo, Lightroom Classic, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Code, and so much more. Now, to get the best possible price for the Professional Portrait LUT bundle, simply follow the link in the description of this video, and to find out more about it, head to our website cleverphotographer.com. And that's the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and share it. And if you have any question about today's topic or about Aperty, then write it in the comment section under this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss on any of our future content focusing on Aperty and Luminar Neo. For today, my name is Jacob Bors, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.